Urgent! Steelers fan! Look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest your team news, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. NFL reporter shares definitive update on Vikings signing future Hall of Fame quarterback. The saga of where Aaron Rodgers will land continues, with the Pittsburgh Steelers and Minnesota Vikings at the center of it. This offseason, the Vikings had a decision to make at quarterback, whether to resign Sam Darnold, sign Rodgers, or roll with J.J. McCarthy as the guy. Darnold ended up signing with the Seattle Seahawks, which left the door open for conversations between Minnesota and Rodgers. The Vikings decided to go with McCarthy for now and let Rodgers discuss other opportunities with other teams. Rodgers has had conversations with the Steelers, which have made that option more plausible. There might be more clarity into what that decision is to be, though, after the latest news coming out. ESPN's senior NFL reporter Jeremy Fowler shared an update on SportsCenter on Sunday that seems to indicate that the Vikings are pretty much out of the race for Rodgers. The Minnesota Vikings, is he Rodgers waiting them out? That is sort of a lingering question out there, but when I talk to people with the Vikings, this is all but dead for them, essentially. Maybe if he's available later in the summer, they would revisit, but just seems unlikely at this point. So it's Steelers, retirement or bust, breaking down the Titans, Browns, and Giants options coming out of the Pro Day circuit via J. Harris ESPN on SportsCenter Pick. Twitter, ComLXPZCC5 TWQL, Jeremy Fowler, J. Fowler ESPN. April 6, 2025. The 2024 Vikings first-round pick McCarthy appears to be the starter, pending any unforeseen changes in the future. He showed promise in the preseason as he went 11 of 17 for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns to 1 interception. His debut would be cut short with a torn meniscus that ended his season before it even started. Rodgers is coming off his second season with the New York Jets, which fell short of the team's expectations as they finished 512 and missed the playoffs. He made 11 Pro Bowls and won 4 NFL MVP awards in his career with the Green Bay Packers. The cloud that has been hanging over the Vikings on the Rodgers situation appears to be steering clear of Minnesota, with the spotlight shining on McCarthy. Now, pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest The Black and Gold news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Steelers rumors. Ian Rappaport makes Aaron Rodgers' declaration amid free agency wait. The Pittsburgh Steelers desperately need to find a new starting quarterback. Pittsburgh did well during the 2024 season with the combination of Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Now both of them are gone, and the Steelers need to add more competition for Mason Rudolph. One NFL insider gave another update on the ongoing Aaron Rodgers situation. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport made a bold declaration about Aaron Rodgers amid the wait for the veteran free agent to pick his next team. Several Steelers people, including Art Rooney himself, talk about the positive momentum toward a deal between the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers, Rappaport said on Monday via Good Morning Football, basically saying that he thinks it's going in the right direction. Rooney wanted a decision sooner rather than later. He's not impatient, but eventually he will be. The entire Steelers organization would love to add Aaron Rodgers as a bridge quarterback. In 2025, Mike Tomlin, Omar Khan, all said the same thing, Rappaport continued. They would love him, they would welcome him, they want him. They have not put a deadline on it yet, and they wait. Rappaport continued by declaring that Pittsburgh is the only realistic option for Aaron Rodgers if he wants to play in 2025. The Minnesota Vikings were very clear that Aaron Rodgers, as of right now, not an option for them, Rappaport said. They are moving full speed ahead with J.J. McCarthy. There are no other spots. So if Aaron Rodgers is going to play football in 2025, it is going to be for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rappaport continued by saying he would not be surprised to hear an announcement from Rodgers over the next couple of weeks. This would make sense, as Rodgers should not risk waiting until after the 2025 NFL Draft. If the Steelers do not get an answer by mid-April, they will most likely draft a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers needs to make up his mind quickly, or he may find himself without a starting job this fall. Recently released cornerback could end up with Steelers. The Steelers could bring in a former Raiders cornerback. The Pittsburgh Steelers have addressed their need at cornerback this offseason pretty head-on. They signed former All-Pro and Super Bowl champion Darius Slay from the Philadelphia Eagles, as well as former New York Jets cornerback Brandon Echols. This came after not pursuing Dante Jackson in free agency, as he left for the Los Angeles Chargers. The Steelers could be the team that brings in a recently released cornerback, though, to continue adding to their room. The Las Vegas Raiders released cornerback Jack Jones, who started 16 games for Las Vegas a season ago after not being able to find a trade partner. Because the Steelers' new secondary coach, Gerald Alexander, was with the Raiders a season ago, there are obvious connective tissues between the free agent and the Steelers. Jones was drafted by the New England Patriots in the 4th round of the 2022 NFL Draft. He was released in 2023 before getting picked up by the Raiders and performing well, returning 2 interceptions for touchdowns. Adding him to the room doesn't have any horrible outcomes on the surface, so don't be shocked if we see some murmurs about the Steelers being interested. Rooney happy with Steelers. Free agency moves it's gone well, though the Pittsburgh Steelers failed to bring back Justin Fields or Russell Wilson the way Art Rooney too publicly hoped for. He's still happy with the job the team has done in free agency. Speaking to reporters during the recent league meetings, Rooney had an optimistic view of what the team has done since the new league year began. "I think overall it's gone well," Rooney said via Steelers. "Commentary, we've picked up some players we think can help us. Door's still open, we'll see what happens." Pittsburgh is still waiting on a quarterback, but added a top-flight receiver in the meantime, making the offseason's splashiest trade for WR.DK Metcalf. It's the type of addition the Steelers historically haven't made, and it signals change inside the building. The team parted with a second-round pick to land Metcalf and give him a $30 million per year contract in the process. By far, it's the largest deal for an outside addition in franchise history. Defensively, the Steelers focused on boosting the secondary with cornerbacks Darius Slay and Brandon Echols. Slay will start opposite Joey Porter Jr., while Echols could compete for playing time on the outside and in the slot, potentially battling Beanie Bishop Jr. for starting duties at nickel. Safety Juan Thornhill was signed to add desperately needed depth behind Minkah Fitzpatrick and Deshaun Elliott. Inside, linebacker Malik Harrison was signed to replace Elandon Roberts. The tape suggests an on-field downgrade defensively, but Harrison offers tremendous special teams value, keeping a game-day role should Peyton Wilson take big steps in his sophomore season. Defensive line depth has also been refreshed with the addition of Daniel Equali, though a starter remains a need. Offensively, running back Kenneth Gainwell provides offensive juice and can win in space, showing off that ability against the Steelers' defense last season. Though still on roster, Gainwell could take Cordarrelle Patterson's role as a pass-catching back and kick returner. Based on who the team brought in, Pittsburgh had a successful free agency. The trades and signings made by the Steelers were largely helpful and logical. Harrison replacing Roberts is the main source of complaint, but that's a minor one in a big-picture view. Pittsburgh could be also added a stronger depth piece than Thornhill, coming off 2 tough years in Cleveland, but good health will make it moot. The bigger concern might be over where the Steelers have failed to add. There are still serious questions along the defensive line, offensive line depth, and of course, quarterback. The draft is the easiest tool to address those needs, and evaluating the offseason fairly won't happen until Pittsburgh's rookie class is revealed. Steelers' Aaron Rodgers drama takes a deliciously poetic turn for Packers fans, but I'm sure it'll all work out, as it often does with him. What's that expression about assumptions again? For the better part of the last month, the NFL's been playing musical chairs with Aaron Rodgers. He stayed quiet as speculation about his next final stop has bounced from team to team, presumably because for some pretentious reason that's not even really worth speculating about, because really, who cares? In his absence, we've all assigned him to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The widely held assumption is that after meeting with the team back in mid-March, some sort of verbal assurance was given about next season. It makes sense what other reason would both sides have to be so aloof about the fact that they desperately need each other. I understand that Rodgers has literally never in his life provided a reason for being aloof. Please just play along, but turns out maybe assuming things is a bad idea. News to me. The latest juicy NFL report makes it seem like maybe Rodgers' spot on the Steelers roster isn't as set in stone as we all thought. The Steelers may not be trying that hard to land Aaron Rodgers after all. Source Alabama QB Jalen Milroe has accepted an invitation to attend the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay. Dane Brugler, DP Brugler, April 6th, 2025. If Milroe's getting an invite to the draft, it's obviously because the powers that be think he'll be a first-round pick. And I'm not sure I'd fly up to Green Bay, sorry for draft weekend, if I wasn't 10,000% sure that I was going to get my moment walking across that stage on Thursday night. So, if Milroe's actually going to be at the draft in person, it makes one wonder for who. Unless someone's going to pull a Falcons, which, in hindsight, probably isn't actually the insult, him trying to make it and take Milroe way before he's slotted to go, it seems safe to assume that he'll go towards the end of the first round. Considering that every team from 10 Chicago on already has their franchise QB, that doesn't leave a ton of options for Milroe. That is, until we get to the early 20s, where drumroll Pittsburgh picks. According to Fox Sports' Jordan Schultz, Milroe has met with key members of the Steelers staff. Who'd you rather have? A 41-year-old, one-year rental option who, admittedly, has won 4 NFL MVPs, or a young guy who is quickly becoming the sleeper QB of this year's draft? There's nothing stopping the Steelers from trying for both, I guess. Pittsburgh signing Rodgers and then drafting his replacement in Green Bay. The irony: Pittsburgh Steelers among favorites to land Shedeur Sanders. The Pittsburgh Steelers are among the favorites to land Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders. While Pittsburgh has not shown any outward interest in Sanders, ESPN's Adam Schefter believes the New Orleans Saints or Steelers will be where Sanders lands. On top of that, FanDuel Sportsbook's odds for Sanders have the Steelers listed as the third team behind the Saints and New York Giants. With Sanders' wide range, he could either fall right to the Steelers or be gone long before they are on the clock. The Steelers had a key opportunity to see Sanders on Friday in his special showcase, along with Travis Hunter and other Colorado prospects. Yet, the team did not even send a position coach or high-level front office member. Instead, they sent area scout Kelvin Fisher. No Mike Tomlin or Omar Khan would seem enough for a quarterback prospect, yet with no position coach, coordinator, or any other high-level ranking member even there, it would signal the Steelers are not that interested in Sanders. Sanders' stock had continued to rise since he transferred to Colorado 2 years ago, but has experienced a bit of a pitfall in recent months. The son of Deion Sanders, Shedeur has a lot of talent and could go anywhere from second overall to the late 20s. That means the Steelers could have a sneaky chance to land Sanders if they like him enough. Given no link to him yet from the Steelers, a team notoriously fine with making their draft plans obvious, a move like that seems unlikely to occur. Now, Steelers fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for the Black and Gold. I'll be back any moment with more Steeler Nation news. Here we go, Steelers! Here we go!